Hello, I'm Greg. Welcome to A Ride Through the Heavens. This is part 2 of our trip to Door County and beautiful Peninsula State Park. If you missed part 1, there's a link in the description below. Please check that out and strap in for a beautiful ride. We pick up on day 3 with a trip across the peninsula to Cave Point County Park for a day of hiking and sightseeing on the Lake Michigan side of Door County. Cave Point has some stunning views of the lake from the hiking trail with some unique natural wonders. The roots from the trees are exposed from the waves crashing into the sides of the shore. As we walk along the trails, we see stunning views of the water and nature in all its glory. The waves that crash against the shore have carved out caves in the rock which extend under the hiking trail. You can look at these holes and see the water and even kayakers exploring the waters below. Some people are even brave enough to climb in to get a closer look. I decided to send my drone out to get a better view of the shore and the caves. The rocks are a popular place for diving, swimming, and of course kayakers. As you can see here, there are another group of kayakers coming in to explore, so I decided to end my flight so as not to disturb them. We then headed north to check out the Birdcage Lighthouse in Bailey's Harbor. No relation to our dog. As I flew out to the island, I forgot that there was a shipwreck just off the shores of the lighthouse. I think you can see that here. I didn't notice it until I watched the video afterwards. I should have made a note of it so I could have got a closer look. Maybe next year. The Birdcage Lighthouse, as you can see why it's called by that name, was constructed in 1852. With low water levels, they could transport supplies directly to the island without boats. In 1858, it was outfitted with a fixed white fifth-order Fresnel light. But in 1866, it fell into deterioration and the Lighthouse Board approved to rebuild it. However, at the last minute, it was determined that the harbor would be better served with the construction of a lighthouse just to the north on Cana Island. Thus, the decision was made to abandon the lighthouse. At the close of the shipping season on December 1st, 1869, the lighthouse displayed the light for the last time, and the station closed. At some time thereafter, the island was sold into private ownership. We then traveled a little farther north to Cana Island to see the lighthouse that replaced the Birdcage. Built in 1870, it is still used as an active navigational aid under the jurisdiction of the United States Coast Guard and was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 1976. Since the 70s, both the lighthouse and its keeper's quarters are open to visitors for tours by means of the Door County Maritime Museum. Unfortunately today, it was closed for tours, so I decided to take some pictures from the skies. The keeper's quarters, privy, and tower buildings that were made of Cream City brick, but the brick of the tower deteriorated quickly because of storms and icy winters. In 1902, the steel cladding was added to the tower to protect it from further deterioration. Since much of the time the water level covers the road to the lighthouse, a horse and cart are used to carry visitors from the parking lot to the lighthouse for tours. We then decided to head to Fish Creek to experience one of the unique sights of Door County. A fish boil is synonymous with Door County. It's been a highlight for decades and people enjoy the show as much as the fish. For some of us, the show is actually better than the boiled whitefish. It starts with a kettle of whitefish, corn and potatoes brought to a boil over an open wood fire. Once it's fully cooked, they perform a boil over to raise the temperature and quickly boil off the fat that raises to the top of the water.
Back a little bit.
A couple of cups of diesel fuel is used to ignite the fire to extreme temperatures to get the water to boil over very quickly. Matt Peterson, the owner of Pelletier's restaurant, oversees the boil multiple times per night with the guests looking on before dinner. The next day, our granddaughter and her husband of 1 month came to join us for a couple of nights. They enjoyed the waterfront of our campsite for a quick swim and some relaxation out on the bay. We then went to one of our favorite breakfast stops in Ephraim, the Good Eggs. They make a breakfast burrito right in front of you with whatever ingredients you like. Then if you like, you can pull up a stool in front of a sailboat to eat. Enjoying some downtime at the campsite, Bailey got tired of chasing the chipmunks, so she decided to just watch with me rather than trying to chase them while on a leash. We decided to go for a drive around Door County when we drove this winding stretch of road along Highway 42 at the top of the peninsula, just before the ferry dock to Washington Island. We were not driving quite this fast, but it's more like an amusement park ride when you speed it up. When we got back, it was time to go to the Northern Sky Theater in the center of the park. They don't allow photography there, so I'll leave a link below for more information. It's definitely worth checking out. We made it back to see another brilliant sunset before Fish Creek put on a fireworks display that we could enjoy right from our campsite. The Coast Guard circled the barge in the bay in Fish Creek as many campers, boats, and visitors enjoyed the show. The next day, we hit the trails again for another taste of the beautiful park. You can bike every day while you're here and never grow tired of the beauty and wildlife. We saw a pure black squirrel on one ride, and then 10 minutes later, we saw a pure white squirrel, assuming it was an albino, both of which I had never seen in my life. When we returned, we had a campfire with a chimney. This is an old family tradition I learned when I was camping with relatives as a child. We burn a hollow log on a crosshatch pattern of logs, which draws air and flame up the center like a venturi to burn the log inside out for hours. Years ago, I asked the owners of the wood yard in the park if they had any hollow logs, and they asked why, so I explained our tradition. They've been selling these hollow logs for $20 ever since. Once the log burns through, just lay it down and watch it burn. Camping in Peninsula State Park. Doesn't get much better than this. Got a site right on the lake. Beautiful views, beautiful weather, although we got some rain coming. But it doesn't get much better than this. Unfortunately, it has to come to an end, so we're heading out tomorrow. But we had a fantastic week out on the boat, toured the island, got some drone shots of some lighthouses, went to some of our favorite restaurants, and it's just been awesome. And Bailey enjoyed it too. She's loving the chipmunks and the squirrels. You know, doesn't get much better than this. I'll just have to now start working on plans 11 months in advance to get back here again next year, and to try and get either the same site or one of these sites in this row. There's 4 sites in Weborg Point campgrounds that are right on the water, where you can just watch the sunsets and enjoy the water. I think hopefully next year I'm going to bring a kayak. We can just launch right out from our campsite, check out the waters, and tour the area. I'm really looking forward to it. But all good things must come to an end, and I just might take a little nap here for a little while. So, I'll talk to you soon.